Hey guys, my name is Muhammad Diab and I'm working for Bisaria Studio. Photoshop is the very first word comes across our minds when we see these kind of stuff. Well, Photoshop is meant to be used for a variety of applications. Some artists are just using Photoshop for those brilliant photo manipulations, for designing advertisements and the eye-catching commercials everywhere. Photographers also use it to enhance their production, clarify their photos, adding some special effects and filters, making a good use of the Photoshop's magical tools. And others, Photoshop means nothing to them but creating these weird photos. But for ours, it's gonna be that one for digital painting, aiming for constructing some clean line art pieces, processing them into fully detailed concepts and illustrations. So let me introduce you into the magnificent Photoshop's world from digital painting's point of view. Well, this is the default user interface when opening Photoshop. Opening the file menu to create a new file, renaming it if you like, controlling the canvas size, the dimensions, the width and the height, and then hit OK. Well, when I started using Photoshop for painting about 3 years ago, I had no idea where to start. It was like, okay, just install the software and I need to paint. What's next? And then, when I asked for advice, I figured out that there's a couple of things I must be fully aware of. For the first thing, that was never use the mouse while painting. So I recommend you to get your own Wacom tablet. Don't you guys expect to go further in digital painting with a mouse. So simply, you can notice the difference between the mouse line and a Wacom line, which has different gradients. It's the pressure sensitivity. When you need to shade or do the hatching, your digital stylus would do the job. If you're switching from traditional art into digital art, then you'll follow up so easily. It wouldn't take you much time to familiarize yourself with the tools, but definitely would take you much more time of practice. After not using the mouse, I have to go a little with some tools. Regarding digital painting, for a beginner you would be interested in exploring all of those buttons and menus. I'm only going to give you a boost with navigating your canvas, how to use the brush, the eraser, and a lot of other standard tools. Now let's start with the most important asset in the digital painting, which is the layers panel. Having those buttons in beneath, creating new layers, grouping them, deleting them, and so on. Using different layers allow you to turn the grayscale into color. Simply, the layers concept is nothing but some images stacked on the top of others. Just like using traced papers in traditional art. Imagine a tracing paper with the black outlines and another one with the filling placed over the first one. Actually, using layers, managing them properly, is the secret element in Photoshop. And layer after layer, you're getting it done. So the first thing you might notice is the Tools panel docked to the left of the screen. You can control it, converting it into some kind of floating menu, collapsing this or whatever. Well, I can do the same for the Layers panel. I can control viewing or hiding these panels from the Window menu. Well, I like also to display the navigator, for a better control of my canvas. Well, when you choose the brush tool, a horizontal bar appears, giving you access to control the brush tip, the size of the brush, and the hardness of the brush. Types of brushes we're going to talk about later. Then you have the opacity and the flow. The opacity and the flow are some properties of the brush that needs a little explanation. Let's give it a try and see what's happening. I'm just trying with 100% opacity and 100% flow. Then I'm reducing the opacity to say 50% or something, and try again. Well, this is more transparent than the 100%, and if I keep painting over and over, it gives a gradient of grays till we reach the pure black. If we just continue. Now let's get the opacity back to 100%. and the float to 50% this time. And you can notice the difference. You know, maybe a less pigment or something. Well, you might ask how I navigate my canvas. This is the zooming in and out, you know, and the pen tool. I can click on a space bar on my keyboard and hold and drag to do the pen tool. Well, after the brush tool, we have the eraser. Nothing special, just to erase what you painted. Now for the brush color, you can see those two small squares, usually black and white by default. The one in the front is called the foreground color, and this one is the active color of your brush. The one in the back is called the background color, and you can switch between them both by simply hitting the double-sided arrow between them. And if I wanted to choose another color than black, I just click on the foreground color and a new window appears called the color picker. So I just manipulate the colors and I choose whatever I want and hit OK. Now I paint. Oops. Oh, I forgot to change to the brush tool. Then I just paint. Well, at the end, I hope you find this helpful as a good intro for digital painting. Thanks for watching this, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.